funny, we're talking about the kids on show, and we don't even class Jude Bellingham as one of them. And he's only 20. He's only a year or two older than some of the stars that are coming out of La Masia. Speaking of Jude Bellingham, and Stevie brought his name up earlier as one of the key components to the way that Real Madrid play, Alex Kirkland's written a very good piece on ESPN.com about Jude Bellingham. And before we get the thoughts of our three on young Mr. Bellingham, what about hearing from Ilkay Gundogan and Marc-Andre ter Stegen, two Barca players, on how to stop the young Englishman?
What have you been talking about in regards to how you're going to try to stop someone like Jude Bellingham?
Well, whatever we do in this team is collectively. We know that we also have all of our individual qualities, but we know that at the end of the day, we play 11 men on the pitch, and if we are not good collectively, one player can shine for a day or a couple of games or whatever, but we were not going to win a lot. So obviously everything we do, we want to do as good as the whole team, and that is the main thing, I think, to try to compete for all the titles.
I think for us, our general idea won't really change. We have to, of course, be very careful about the possession so that we don't lose it easily, that we don't have stupid mistakes actually in the build-up, and because they can actually create something out of nowhere. And so, we just need to be careful. As always, I think when you play Real Madrid, as I said before, they can create something out of nowhere. And so, this is what we need to take care of.
And I have to ask you just that tough question too. How do you stop Jude Bellingham? How do you stop a player who seems to just be in a special form right now?
No, he definitely is in a special form. And it's interesting to see how he is, as probably midfielder, arriving always to the box, scoring that many goals. And everybody, I heard already people saying like, let him play for 4 or 5 weeks and it won't be the same. But he's continuing very strong, and it's very interesting to see from a neutral perspective. But definitely we want to avoid that he is getting to these areas where he can really damage our game, and so we want to control the game as we did in the last games, always against Real Madrid.
Jude Bellingham has made playing for Real Madrid look easy. Not my words, that's the opening sentence to Alex Kirkland's article on ESPN.com. Why has he been able to make it look so easy, Alex?
Well, when you listen to people who've worked with him talk, I think a lot of it is about his personality. And you talk about his maturity. There's that great quote from the Dortmund coach last year when he said, Jude Bellingham is the oldest 19-year-old I've ever met. And you hear Bellingham talk, and you watch him and you see him play, and I just think it's true. I think he's got this incredible kind of maturity and strength of character that I can't dream of having ever, let alone when I was, a teenager or barely into my 20s. I think it's remarkable how level-headed he is, how kind of analytical he is, the way that he thinks about things. I think we've seen that from the way he's sort of managed every step of his career so far, the way that he's dealt with joining Real Madrid. The other thing I was going to say, listening to that clip, I think the great thing about having a player like Bellingham in the form that he's in, all the focus on him, is that yes, the attention's on him, but that means, is there as much attention on Vinicius Jr.? Is there as much attention on Rodrigo, on Valverde, on these other players who can be every bit as dangerous? And if Barca are paying special attention to Bellingham, that frees up Vinicius, a player who was Real Madrid's best player until Bellingham turned up. So that there are so many benefits to having a player like him in the form that he's in. But yeah, there's no doubt the way that he's taken to La Liga has been just remarkable, in just how serene and how straightforward it seems. Let's see how he gets on in the biggest club fixture in world football.
Stevie, like Jude Bellingham, you signed for a massive club at the age of 19, and you made an impact at the age of 20. How's that for a comparison?
Well, mentally, I was still about 14. I'm certainly nothing like Jude Bellingham, I can assure you. Took me a little bit longer than Jude Bellingham to get in my stride, I must admit.
What about his impact?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, though, that neither Gundogan or ter Stegen actually answered the question. And they probably didn't answer because there isn't an answer. I don't think they have an answer. You know, whether De Jong's fit, I'm not sure that's his best position, deep centre in front of the back line as far as defending's concerned. Gundogan did a little bit of it with Man City last year, but I don't think, again, his forte is that defensive place. And if it's Ferran Lopez, are we really going to put that on Ferran Lopez that you have to take care of Bellingham when he makes those runs? So I don't think they have an answer. And I think the other thing is as well that Bellingham has to be thanking his lucky stars that he joined Real Madrid when Ancelotti was the manager, because the change of shape 100% suits his game down to the ground. The fact that he has that freedom to kind of do what he wants, and certainly to get in the box and back up the two front men and Vinny and Rodrigo. So there's a whole host of things going on here, but I think the biggest one is that Ancelotti has very early seen the potential of Bellingham, and that's why he's playing with the two up front, so that Bellingham is now free to join them in the penalty box, and it's paying off massively.
Yeah, and from a Barcelona perspective, it's going to be interesting to see if Lewandowski's fit. Lewandowski's through the middle, but who's going to play wide on the right? They've had Fermin Lopez, they've had Ferran Torres, they've had him playing through the middle. It's going to be interesting. We'll have full build-up to this one. And remember, the game is live on ESPN+, 10:15 a.m. Kickoff, 4:15 in Spain. We'll get predictions before we go. Let's start with you, Dalen. Are you with the bookies, who are pretty split? Do you think it'll be tight, or what do you reckon?
I think it will be tight. Like I said, I want to see the team sheet before I put any money down, but I lean Madrid, and assuming that some of the key guys will not go for Barca, and if they do, they're probably not fully fit and 100%. I would say 2-1 Madrid is my lean. Stevie?
Yeah, I think I'm going with Dalen. I'm going to go 2-1 Real Madrid.
Okay, home advantage for Barcelona. It worked for Real Madrid in the first Clasico of last season, albeit they didn't get the job done in the league. Alex, 2 for Real Madrid. What say you?
Well, we did a big preview piece for the site, and I said 3-1 to Madrid. So I've got to stick with that, haven't I? 3-1 Madrid.
Okay, looking forward to it. Remember, full coverage on ESPN Plus if you're in the United States. Kickoff at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. And a reminder, the ESPN FC pre-game show begins 75 minutes earlier on both ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. Enjoy the Clasico, enjoy the Manchester Derby, and enjoy all the football, whether you're going or you're watching this weekend. Bye for now.